wanted to do a short sequence for something you can do before bed. Often when we're in cleansing mode, we have a lot more time on our hands, and at night, if you're used to like preparing, a lot of, an elaborate meal or watching a movie, you might find that during your cleanse you're not going to be preparing an elaborate meal, and you're probably going to be a lot less interested in things that are bringing in a lot of external stimulation into your mind. And so I wanted to support your practice of going inwards during your detox with just some simple routines. One thing that often happens during cleansing is that people get insomnia, and basically what happens is the physical body channels start to empty out so much debris that and it starts to actually move out of the body. The person starts to feel very, very light and awake. And when this happens, sometimes it's like, I have a ton of energy and I'm just not that. I sleep for 4 hours and then I'm up, And often that's just because energy is also just going more upward in the body instead of moving downward. And in the cleanse, we want to move energy downward and upward, and downward first. So what I'm going to show you is just a few things you can do. Like even if you're exhausted at the end of the day, one of the first things you can do is just start to move more energy in your feet. So I'm pressing the bone on the top of your foot into the other arch and sitting back. What we're doing is we're pressing. I'm going to keep doing this, but turn to you. And we start pressing on some of the marma points, or the acupressure points. It's called marma in Sanskrit. And usually, the more painful the point, the more congested or the more debris is in that part of the body. So when you sit on your feet this way, and you notice this is really stiff, just by sitting on it and pressing that part of your foot, the energy in your body is going to start to drop to the south pole. So south pole, north pole. Right? We have a polarity of energy in the subtle field. And as we're pressing on this, you can change feet now, top of your other foot, right into the sole. And if you notice, it's not I just noticed, that's not a strong point. I just look around, I'm just feeling around. Where's a good? There we go. Oh, yeah. Nice strong point. And now I can feel, there's like a grunthy, a knot in this part of my foot. And as I'm pressing on it, if I can relax, as I press on with the energy, I can actually feel the energy in my nervous system start to drop. And the reason I'm showing you these incredibly simple poses is that sometimes at the end of the day, we're exhausted. And if you haven't been eating and you're not used to, just living on liquids or just living on kitchery, and you notice your energy is lower, and this is just a great way to, at the end of the day, just to sit and bring more energy into your feet. You can change again, this time move to a new point. So you don't have to have a lot of energy to do this practice at the end of the day. And as you sit, you can allow your awareness to drop into your body, into your breath. And if it's excruciating, think of just exhaling some of the debris. And sometimes you can make a sound like, glad I'm letting this go. Just clearing your feet. You can roll your sit bones around on your heel bones. And you're just clearing this out. And then rocking sometimes helps if we're too stagnant. If it's too intense and stagnant, the energy can get stuck. So you can just rock a little bit. And then change sides again. And so for those who have, who have children, and it's like you might feel like, I don't have time for an evening practice because I need to be with my children. You can do this and play with blocks or read a book. You can do this and have a conversation. So it's not something that also has to be just done in a quiet meditative space. If you have the opportunity to do it in a quiet meditative space, then please do. But otherwise, just simply doing this, you'll notice then, we're going to stand up in a minute. And as you stand up, I just want you to put your feet on the floor and just feel the floor. And what you might feel is that there's a lot more circulation in your feet, there's a lot more sensitivity in your feet. Okay, we're going to sit down again. This time, knees together, inner edges of your feet together, pull your pinky toes back. So the feet will store stress. So if in the day you've had a lot of toxins releasing, your feet might feel more congested. And just doing this at the end of the day empties the body of any blockage. Now, when the feet get blocked, even really when there's any congestion or blockage anywhere in the legs, it drives energy from the pelvis upward. So as we clear the blockages in the feet and in the legs, it allows energy to settle downwards, which is optimal for a deeper rest. There's a traditional practice of doing foot massage before bed, and I personally have found that doing a routine like this massages my feet much more so than I can do with my hands. And so for me, it's like, okay, how can I just massage my feet so deeply through using these acupressure points? Now bring your heels together, inner edges of your feet together, widen your inner thighs apart, spread your pinky toes and sit down. Take a deep breath and let your pelvis descend, let the energy descend. And you're just pressing on your feet, you're letting your energy and your weight push into your feet. Switch back. And if anyone's like, oh my gosh, this is pure torture, just you can always take a little bit of weight off with your finger pads. And slowly try to bring your heels together and slowly ease the weight back on. And if you can walk up. If you're like, oh, I can't walk up it, that's fine, just walk back down. If some of the toes aren't turned under, you can manually turn your toes under. Sit back on the heels. Now, place your hands down and just rock back and rock up. Turn your feet, rock over. And back and up. And down and over. We're increasing the flexibility. You might feel like your feet are becoming mushy. A stiff foot is a toxic foot. So your foot might start to feel a lot more mushy, a lot more flexible. And then from here, we're going to go into a pose where the heels come directly over the balls of the toes. And if you can balance, you can practice taking your arms up. If you can't balance, just return your hands to the floor. Stretch forward through your knees. Try to bring your heels more over your toes. Let your neck drop. And then rock forward again. Sit back. Under. And pop up. Then just check it out. And if you check it out off your mat, if there's a wood floor, that's great. If you have carpet, you can stay on your mat, that's fine. I just want you to feel your feet. And then notice, as you're standing, how much more grounded your energy is. You should just feel like your energy is moving down into your feet. It's really grounded, very open, really easy to feel, easy to move. We'll come back to the mat, and we're going to push on a point in our calves. We're going to do this in Gomukasana. You can bring your feet over to the right, take your right knee behind your left knee, and then walk your feet together and sit down. And this is just a calf squasher. I'm squashing my left calf here. And as I'm pushing on this point, this is another marble point. It's another acupressure point. This point, if this is like really intense, it's generally showing that it's loosening stuff up in your colon. This is the colon point in the middle of the calf. I was studying with Dr. Vasant Lad in India, and we were at his clinic, and sometimes people come in with various diseases, I mean pretty advanced diseases, and he would just press on these points. And this one guy pressed on this point, he just did it manually, he got his leg in. I shot up and almost like crashed his head on the ceiling. It was so painful. His body's just... And Dr. Lad turned to him and said, toxins in the colon. Go ahead and switch. It's so beautiful how the yoga poses are designed to press the marble points. So, right knee in front, left knee behind. ascending colon, left half is descending colon. I think that makes sense if you just trace your colon. It goes up the right side, across, down the left side. Just try to let your energy drop. So I'm showing these poses that like, you might think this isn't really happening in yoga practice, and it's really not. This is just a way of opening your body at the end of the day in a way that you don't have to expend any energy. You might find that you're just releasing energy, not extending, just releasing. And then come up, change that one more time. And you can wiggle around your feet. You might find a slightly new point. The more you line the left heel up to the right outer shin, and the tighter it's going to be, the more calf squashy it's going to be. When you sit down, let your breath settle. Applying that pressure. If you get a headache, that means you're releasing toxins a little maybe too quickly. You can just again take your hands in front and let yourself settle a little bit more slowly, a little more gently. Massaging that point. Inhale, come up. Other side. I'm going to face you again. Just walk so you can see this. I'm trying to get my legs together. Sit down. Let your jaw relax. You can drop your gaze down, drop your drishti. And as you drop your gaze, you drop your energy. So you drop the south pole down. Be so curious about these points, and what you'll notice if you do this practice a few nights in a row is that the points that were excruciating, you start to be like, why isn't this hard anymore? And you're opening, you're releasing the debris. And when we release that debris, prana comes in. Prana is life force. It's also consciousness. So you literally, your cells become more conscious, more alive, more healthy, more regenerative. And you can feel it. It's like the way that I visualize it is like, and actually it's true. If you see like on a slide, if you see cells on a slide, you can see like unhealthy cells are contracted, healthy cells, healthy red blood cell. It's like a ping pong ball. It's like, it's alive, it's circular, it's round. So in a way you're pushing on the cells that can release the debris. What comes in then is the oxygen. What comes in is the life force. What comes in is the intelligence, the prana. And you're fluffing them back out. You're pushing basically from the inside, getting prana in the cell. It pushes it back out. And now the cell is literally vibrant and buoyant and alive. Come forward and sit back on your heels again. Just casually now, just notice if you feel a lot more flexibility in your feet. Like feet should start to feel more like plastic and less like steel. Now what we're going to do is one other calf squasher. If you have a rod, you can also use a rod. I'm going to use a folded up yoga mat. You can use a blanket. And I'm going to bring my knees together. And I'm going to put this as deep into the knee crease as I can. I'm going to line straight back through my heel, through my second toe. And sit down. And as I sit down, I'm not trying to like, often when I see students do this for the first time, they sit down and they're like, I hate this. And their energy body goes up. And they're tense. And their jaw tightens. And their eyes tighten. And there's this feeling of like, this is not where I want to be right now. And if that's true, you can take your weight off a little bit. Again, walk forward. You'll notice instant relief. And then slowly walk back. And you can say, like, you are in charge. You can up the ante a little bit at a time. I was doing this, I was playing with my daughter the other day. She has these wooden blocks. And I took these wooden blocks about 1.5 inches on each side of the square. And they're about this long. And I put one behind my knees and sat back. And I was like, oh, it's amazing. We put wood in there compared to squishy plastic. But wood in there, you're going to up the ante on these acupressure points a little bit more. So if anyone feels like, oh, I'm not feeling anything, go to the hardware store and buy a wooden dowel. that's about an inch to 2 inches thick, and put that right back there and then sit down. And you might find that you get a little bit more intensity. You're just sitting here flattening the calf. You can roll the mat back. I try to flip it up to the high side. Roll it back. And just find that point where you're noticing more sensation. Exhale the debris. The ah breath. The ah breath is very clear to the North Pole, South Pole channel. It's very clear to the Sushumna. It's very relaxing in the descending Apanavaya, downward moving energy motions. Whenever you notice you're holding on in your jaw, the energy's rising. Just deep breath in. Go ahead, hop forward, roll back one more time, right onto the place above your ankles. And squash that place as well. When you're relaxing and your energy's going down, you want to actually get heavy. Like a child who doesn't want to be picked up, you know how they can make their body get heavier? So, whereas if you want to be picked up, you get light and you draw in, the body gets light, easier to move. Let your body get really heavy here. It's weighty. The guru energy, weighty, solid. And then let's take this out again, sit back. Just sit back on your feet and notice if it's more comfortable. I'd like you to really feel what it's like when there's less debris in your feet. What it's like when there's less debris in your calves. Just notice, okay, this is what awake feet feel like. Then go ahead and come forward onto all fours. And I picture the toss your feet down. This is something I just learned from Noah last night. Hi, Noah. Push your feet down. And you're doing down dog, but toss your feet on the floor. And this can be excruciating. The more excruciating it is, just lean your arms forward. If you want to get more on the tops of your feet, you can kind of play with it. Spread your toes. You're just opening your feet. Now roll up and over your toes. You can do one at a time at first. And stretch your legs back. Then lift your arm bones forward, roll again. One top of the toe, other top of the toe, stretch back down and down. Good. And then roll over one at a time. If you can do both at the same time, it's more advanced. Fantastic. Stretch back. And now we'll do one hamstring stretch to end our practice. You can step your right foot forward. Come onto your fingertips. Just stretch your right leg straight. Stretch your left heel down. If your left heel does not come down, don't worry about it. Squeeze your feet in, lift your kneecaps up, and stretch your thigh bones back. Feel the breath descending. Deep breath in and thigh bones back. Let the breath go down into the South Pole. Lift your arm bones forward. Just opening your legs. And now from your pelvis, push out through the four corners of your feet. Stretch your legs apart. Notice how sensitive your feet are, how they're more awake feet. Exhale, bend your right knee, step left foot forward, right foot back. Right heel can go down. Drink in the deliciousness of the prana. Stretch your thighs back. If you tend to hyperextend your knee, just consciously push the top of the left shin bone forward. Lift your kneecap up, press your thigh bones back. Squeeze your hips towards the middle. Lift your arm bones forward, lift your palate forward. Stretch now from your pelvis through your feet. Feel how sensitive and awake your feet are. Push into the floor. Then bend your left foot, step forward, standing forward bend. If you're more advanced, you can bring the inner edges of your feet together. And if you're more of a beginner, you can separate your feet apart and take your fists together, bend your knees, place your fists between your hands to measure how wide your hips are. Release your hands, lift your kneecaps up.
Bow deeply. I want you to look at your feet. You have a great view of your feet. I want you to see how pliant, how pliable your feet are. Squeeze your feet towards each other. Lift your kneecaps up. Stretch your thighs back. Lift your torso, your spine. Lift it out of your pelvis and then bow. Root your tailbone down through the four corners of your feet. Notice how you feel your feet more. Bend your elbows, draw your shoulder blades on your back, and then pull your sternum down towards your big toes. Just feel how you're opening. You might feel a strong sensation in the back of your leg. You're opening your legs so the energy can drop, so you can sleep more deeply. Good. We're going to go from here right into child's pose. Bend your knees, step your feet back, knees wide apart. Sit back. Release your head down. And you can keep your head on the floor for another moment. Releasing your pelvis, your hips, your legs. Just checking the energy from the North Pole, the crown of the head, South Pole, perineum. Just feeling the clear space. Even though we didn't do energetic practice, just notice how the energy body is shifted. There's a more even flow in the channels. From child's pose, go ahead and walk your hands towards your knees, come sitting. We're going to bring our feet in front of us. And I just want you to feel the bottom of your feet. So just go ahead and grab and notice as you touch your foot. Notice how it feels. It might feel like you've had a really amazing foot massage. Just check in and notice that pliability of your feet. And I invite you to notice this because anytime you have insomnia, you might notice that there's a lot of stiffness in your feet. And if you don't want to do a long practice like we just did, if it's too long, just do those first few exercises or just massage your feet before you go to bed and notice what's happening when you're massaging your feet. The energy is going down in your body. All right, thank you so much.